Hey guys, Jay here, and I'm getting deported. I'm making this video because I owe myself the truth and because people deserve to know what studying abroad um, can actually look like when things go wrong. This isn't drama, this isn't revenge, this is my lived experience. I came to Universidad del Atlántico in Santander, Spain, with one goal: my education. I'm a linguistic and translation student. I speak multiple different languages. I came here excited, motivated, and genuinely optimistic. I believe studying in Europe would challenge me academically, help me grow as a person, and bring me closer to my long-term goal of becoming a scientist in the linguistic field. I didn't come here to party. I didn't come here to cause problems. I came here to learn. What I expected was cultural exchange, academic rigor, and professionalism. What I experienced was something very, very different. From early on, I felt isolated, and not because of my language barriers, but because of how I was treated. Over time, I became, over time, I began experiencing behavior that felt discriminatory and hostile. I was mocked for my accent. I was treated like I didn't belong. I was spoken differently than other students. Instead of addressing the issues, the university started taking me out of the classes and isolating me from other students. This made me feel even more alone. Not only was I being harassed, but now I was being removed from an environment I came to learn in. There were moments where staff and students made comments that made it very clear that I was the foreigner, especially an American. This wasn't one incident, it was a pattern. And when you're living in another country away from your support system, like your family and your friends and the people that you know, that kind of treatment hits harder than people tend to realize. Um, I did what you're supposed to do. I reported my concerns to staff at the Universidad del Atlántico. I wanted clarity, accountability, and professionalism. I reached out multiple times to my advisor, to the director of the translation program, even to the headmaster at this point. I even have screenshots showing my reports and the responses I received. For example, emails from my director, Paula, saying that action would be taken. I'll present those on the screen right here. But unfortunately, nothing changed. The harassment continued, and the university's solution wasn't to protect me, it was to remove me from classes and isolate me from other students. So the routine that I had every day, where I was going to school 5 days a week, every morning, surrounded, with my social life, speaking Spanish every day, being in class every day, that was all taken from me. um, Eventually, I did have a meeting with the headmaster, with Paula, and with my advisor and another professor. I walked in hoping for acknowledgement and protection, but what I walked out with was the realization that my safety and well-being weren't being prioritized at all. The headmaster kind of took me as a joke. A lot of times when I was trying to address the things that have been happening to me, they were pushed aside and the subject had been changed. The translation director, Paula, had even denied allowing me observations in classes as I was observing other classes in order to improve my hearing in Spanish. That was something that was promised to me a year before I came here. And my mother was with me when this meeting went down a year ago when I spoke with Paula about what we would be doing because they wanted to push my studies behind in order to make sure my Spanish was at a C1 level. They said that was the requirement, so they made me wait. But Paula told me that I could observe my classes, attend like anybody else, and be a part of it so that I would know what it would be like for the following year. But only 2 months into the semester, I was taken out and told that I no longer could observe without an explanation. I was told it was for academic reasoning, but my advisor had actually told me that it was because of different personalities within the classroom, is why I was taken out. With that being said, um, I don't think people talk enough about how damaging prolonged stress can be. I started questioning myself, my confidence dropped, my focus disappeared. Instead of learning, it felt like I was surviving. Um, and I feel like no degree is worth feeling unsafe, unheard, or mentally broken. I started to feel depressed every day because the routine that I came here for in order to have my education, I mean, I spent thousands of dollars to have my visa and to go to school here and to live here. And they took me out of classes because they didn't want to address the issue that was happening at hand. They thought taking me out was the easiest and simplest explanation rather than actually addressing the students who were harassing me and discriminating against me. Um, I had students telling me I needed to go back to my country. There were homophobic comments made to me, not only at the university, but in the residence that I live in. And ultimately, I feel unsafe. With that being said, there's even in a group chat, I was completely humiliated in the resident group chat at the Unilantico Residencia WhatsApp group chat, trying to offer my help with helping other people study English. I offered to tutor them. With that being said, I was completely humiliated in this group chat, um, made fun of, and not a single person stepped in to make it stop. There was even the resident assistant in on it. I'll present some of the screenshots on the screen. These are some of the screenshots of the chat. Um, just making fun of me, not even trying to make me feel welcomed or interested. Um, but the reasoning why I'm returning back to the United States is because I'm I'm choosing to leave. So no, I'm not being deported. I'm choosing my mental health. I'm choosing dignity. I'm choosing an environment where I actually can grow. Because here it's become impossible and the university has refused to take accountability. Um, this experience did not defeat me. It clarified me. If you're watching this because you're considering studying abroad, let this be a reminder. If something feels wrong, trust yourself. And since day one, since I got here, I've been personally targeted and it's just felt wrong. Um, I didn't fail Spain. Spain failed me. And I've had to learn to be okay with being able to walk away. Because this was my dream ultimately. I gave up my life in the United States to come here. And I've now had to take the time to be okay with walking away from the one thing that I have fought so hard for. Uh, but yeah. So thank you for listening. I will keep you guys updated. And if you're interested in perhaps seeing or hearing more details of my experience here in Spain, go ahead and comment down below. Um, you guys can check out my Instagram. It'll be linked in the description. I talk about things, but thank you for listening and please, it would be appreciated if you guys shared this video. Subscribed if you want to stay connected to the things that I'm creating, and um, I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.